So we will begin with the aspiration and action bodhicitta recitations. Om other sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. Thus, until I achieve Buddha, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Now, page 2 of the 4th session, Guru Yoga. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, take refuge in you, precious Guru Buddha. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, clear like Dharmakaya. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, perfect Sambhogakaya. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, compassionate Nirmanakaya. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, the actuality of the four kayas. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, take refuge in you, precious Guru Buddha. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge you, Guru, clear like Dharmakaya. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, perfect Sambhogakaya. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, compassionate Nirmanakaya. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, actuality of the four kayas, we supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings, all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, take refuge in you, precious Guru Buddha. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, clear like Dharmakaya. We supplicate you, Dharma Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. We take refuge in you, Guru, perfect Sambhogakaya, we supplicate you, Dharma, Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings, we take refuge in you, Guru, compassionate Nirmanakaya, we supplicate you, Dharma, Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings, we take refuge in you, Guru, the actuality of the four kayas. We supplicate you, Dharma, Lord Buddha, protector of wandering beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from their happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. So as I briefly mentioned yesterday, up until this point, these are what is normally called the preliminaries. So the preliminaries, all traditions of Tibetan Buddhism emphasize that the preliminaries are extremely important. That without these preliminaries, then whatever we think that we're going to practice in the main part, we don't have a basis, we don't have a foundation. So all traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, I would say, would emphasize strongly the importance of the preliminaries. No question about that. Then what I also mentioned yesterday, and I want to emphasize again, particularly in the teachings of Gyalpa Jikten Sumgon, I really feel that not only is he saying that the preliminaries are important in the ways that most others also say, he is saying something more than that. Yeah? He's saying something more than that. Now, to emphasize that he's saying something more than that, please don't misunderstand this and think that, oh, this is like sounding sectarian or, emphasizing, oh, this is so special, other people don't have it. It's not about this. In fact, whatever lineage of practice that you do, when you're practicing that, it becomes more powerful when you understand what is their particular contribution to our understanding of the Dharma. So each lineage, each tradition, and even within a particular lineage, there are also further streams, right? Not to have sectarian mind is not not seeing how they may articulate things, how they may explain things different. See, not being sectarian is not seeing that there are differences. Don't make that mistake of, thinking, oh, not to be sectarian is not to see that there are differences. Of course there are differences. So in really appreciating that the Buddha taught 84,000 dharmas, is to be able to see how the 84,000 are 84,000. That means all the diversity of explanations that are appropriate for different people at different times. Even ourselves, as our Dharma practice mature or evolve, our understanding also gradually change. What we understand 5 years ago and what we understand now, hopefully, has progressed, has become more refined. So anyway, then the point about Kyopa Jikten Sumgon's emphasis on the preliminaries is that it is not just that they are the foundation for the main practices that come later, but that in fact, what we are saying in the preliminaries is the most profound. So that what comes after the preliminaries, the so-called main practice, they are to be understood as methods for actualizing what we cover in the preliminaries. So this is an important difference. That the preliminaries here are not merely the basis or the foundation, but in fact, in the preliminaries, what is said there is what we are working on actualizing. So we start with bodhicitta, aspiration, and action. So that summarizes the entire path. What are we practicing? We are practicing actualizing bodhicitta. Then bodhicitta also has two aspects: ultimate bodhicitta and relative bodhicitta. The words that we chant, all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, those words there, directly we are reminding ourselves relative bodhicitta. But relative bodhicitta is never separate from absolute bodhicitta. Absolute bodhicitta is the realization of the emptiness of inherent existence. That absolute bodhicitta is always there. Then here, when we look at the beginning of the 4-session Guru Yoga, the part about taking refuge, where we take refuge, the words there, in fact, lay out again for what are we practicing, what are we actualizing, what are we trying to actualize, what are we trying to make real in our own experience. What we're trying to actualize, what we're trying to realize, what we're trying to make into a reality is the four kayas. The four kayas. So here, although the words say we take refuge in the Guru, and then the Guru as Dharmakaya, Guru as Sambhogakaya, Guru as Nirmanakaya, and the Guru as the actuality of the four kayas, right? What we just chanted. it is saying that these are the four kayas that we are practicing to actualize. So when we say that the Buddha Dharma is a non-theistic tradition, sometimes we think, oh, that means, we don't have prayers, or we should not have prayers. We don't have these like religious looking things, making offerings, singing praises, and so on and so forth. That's not the real meaning of Buddha Dharma being non-theistic. Buddha Dharma being non-theistic means that ultimately the view here is not that there is Buddha over there and me over here. That somehow this divide is always there. And following from that, then the idea that happiness or suffering comes from somewhere outside. That is the theistic view that the Buddha Dharma critiques, that the Buddha Dharma rejects. Other than that, the Buddha Dharma has no quarrels with other people's theos, with other people's gods. Buddha Dharma has no quarrel with Jesus, with Allah, with Krishna, with Kali, no problem. So Buddha Dharma is non-theistic, as in happiness and suffering is an inside job. Happiness and suffering are things that we have to. We're either cultivating suffering or we're cultivating happiness. And the ultimate cultivating of happiness is the attainment of the Buddha state. The Buddha state that has the four kayas, actualizing the four kayas. So we practice this Guru Yoga practice in order to actualize the four kayas. And then, when this four kayas has been actualized, what good is that, Like now, the question of, so, okay, now you're Buddha with the four kayas, then what? The next part, the four immeasurables. So that the essence of Buddhahood are the four immeasurables. Immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable compassion, immeasurable joy, and immeasurable equanimity. If you want to further divide these four immeasurables, the first three pertains to relative bodhicitta, the last one pertains to absolute bodhicitta. And finally, in the state of Buddha, in the state of being fully awake, there aren't all these lines, over here is loving kindness, over here is compassion, over here is joy, over here is equanimity. First you do this, then you do this, then you do this, and you... No. It's a whole. It's an organic whole. Sometimes, there's so many lists and categories in the explanation of Dharma. Then many of us, get all rigid and think, when you cultivate these states of mind, we try to draw these lines, No, this is here. No, this is here. No, get back in line over there. It's not like that, Don't become rigid in that way. Clear in understanding, spacious in heart. Clear in the head, spacious in the heart. Aim for that. This first line in the next section of ourselves arising as Vajrayogini So this first line, in the state of emptiness, the non-referential nature of all phenomena. So this is the actual state of all phenomena, which we can also call the state of emptiness. This non-referential meaning there is no subject-object divide in this ultimate nature. And this ultimate nature is not something that we need to create. Like right now, it's not like this. Through our hard work, it will become like this. No, no, no. That's not how. That's not the understanding. The understanding here, the ultimate nature, the reality nature is already as it is. Our task is to awaken to that. So right now, if we can at least believe that, then that can be helpful. And how do we come to believe that? Maybe not just like merely having faith. Oh, because, my teachers say so, so I believe. So luckily, the Buddha Dharma don't just do that. Say, because, the teacher says so, so you should believe. There are many teachings that the Buddha gave that appeals to our reasoning, that appeals to our intellect, so that we can develop an understanding that gives rise to a willingness to believe that the ultimate nature of things is indeed like this. But exactly what this is, we should also know. Words cannot touch. Concepts cannot fully comprehend. But through analysis, through study, we can give rise to reasoned belief. Belief that comes as a result of reasoning, of analysis. But this belief is not realization yet. This belief helps us to fuel our practice, which will give rise to realization, to actualization, to full understanding of the state of emptiness, which is the non-referential nature of all phenomena. Yes, Judy, question, comment?
I have been practicing the four aspects gathered into one, and one of the parts of that is instructing to think or to meditate on this non-referential aspect.
5 gathered into one?
Yes.
Not 4, yeah, 5.
Is it 4? It's 4.
5.
5. What did I say?
You said 4, I think.
5. What?
5. Oh, okay. Just so that we're clear.
Right. But this idea of not having a reference point, I don't even know how to approach sitting with that.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, just sit with that.
The meaning will come.
One day.
You just need to remove the obscurations. So you develop skill in seeing how anger arises, how jealousy arises.
I see that, but this seems to be more than that.
It's okay. You remove that, then this comes. That's the meaning of this cannot be created.
Right,
we talk so much about how you cannot create this. Yeah, you cannot create this. What you can do is remove the obscurations.
So intellectually, I understand that, but
Yeah, exactly. So the
oh,
intellectually, that's my point. The
yeah.
intellectually gives rise to reasoned belief, and then with that belief, you then do the practice. Then the practice includes removing the obscurations.
So the issue becomes more recognizing when some emotion occurs, remembering this intellectual understanding so that we can see.
Yes, yes, and not to be trapped when afflictive emotions rise up, not to be trapped, not to buy into them, not to believe them, and therefore be dragged around by them. If you're able to do that, then that is the non-referential nature of all phenomena.
Pretty simple, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. So now here, from this state, so this first statement is simply just, it's not for us, when we practice sadhanas like this is not the time to think. This is the time to just quickly, with some words, evoke, call, to recall. These are like prompts, This is not the time to think about what this means. You do that later when you're studying, when you're listening to teachings. Here is just as a prompt. So it says, from that state, then everything appears now. Which is also a reminder to us that even now, when you're not yet thinking you're Vajrayogini, even that now you think you are, even that is also arising from the state of emptiness, the non-referential nature of all phenomena. Except the ordinary I that we walk around believing strongly in is the cause of mischief. So now we want to go in a different direction so that we arise as, in this case, Vajrayogini, Vajravarahi. In the state of emptiness, the non-referential nature of all phenomena, on a seat of lotus, sun, moon, and corpse, one's mind as a brilliant red bomb turns into Vajrayogini, red complexion, radiating with empty bliss, wrathful in demeanor, with three eyes gazing towards the sky, right hand with a Katri, left holding a blood-filled kapala. Her mouth is slightly open, tongue curled back and making the sound phem, and protruding from the right of her face is the face of a black sow. She is in the form of a 16-year-old with breast swelling with bliss and adorned with the 5 bone ornaments and wearing garlands, flowers, and hairs joyfully. Her right hand holds aloft a bud, Jarakatri, pointing towards the sky, and her left holds a blood-filled kapala directly in front of her navel center, and held under her arm is glorious Heruka in the form of a Katonga, dancing with her left leg standing upright and right bent, arisen within swelling red lights of empty bliss. Then above her head, in an expanse of 5-colored rainbow lights, on a jeweled throne supported by lions, elephants, horses, peacocks, and garudas, in the center of a lotus, free from the faults of samsara, and on the sun and moon that illuminate Sufferings of cold and heat, the exalted mind of sovereign Vajrayogini with the 7 attributes, the totality of the exalted speech of the Dharma, of emptiness, of the perfection of wisdom, the exalted body of the perfect Buddhas possessing the 10 powers is Jikten Sumgon. Embodiment of the 3 jewels, Lord of the teachings, victorious, rich and pure. Presence of the Dharmakaya, pleasing to those trainable, Sambhogakaya, blazing with the splendor of the major and minor marks, and Nirmanakaya, glowing with reddish white light. Lord of the teachings, wearing the 3 Dharma robes, a sleeveless shirt with the 7 noble riches, a meditation hat symbolizing ceaseless empowerment, and a golden skirt of the complete 9 vehicles, right hand subduing the hordes of Maras, by touching the ground left in the mudra of the samadhi of immovable meditative equipoise. He sits in the Vajra posture, free from the extremes of samsara and nirvana. To his right and left are thrones, and on seats of lotus and moon are Avalokita in person, the Bodhisattva himself. Kunjoratna, dressed as a bhikshu, holding a crystal mala and a stalk of lotus. With his 2 hands to the left is Chukidrakpa in the form of a bhikshu, with the 3 robes, Manjushri Saraha in person. Holding a vajra and bell and a axe and sword on lotuses, both of them are wearing the meditation hat symbolizing changelessness. They are like reflections of the one moon dancing on many waters. They are accompanied by the 85 accomplished masters of India and by an ocean of Kagyusiddhas of Tibet, gathered in the main and intermediate directions like immeasurable clouds. With Jah, the hook of faith draws in the wisdom beings from the expanse, with whom they arrive with the kindness that pleases wandering beings. With Bum they abide joyfully, with limitless compassion. With Ho they protect with the smiles of the tamer of wandering beings. With compassion, please remain here for the sake of wandering beings. Up to this point, just to point out, yeah. So from page 4 up to this point, when you are practicing alone, on yourself, not in a group, it is not necessary really to like chant out loud like this. It's much better if you quietly read the words and let the image, let the visualization become alive. Otherwise, this will turn into a chanting exercise. Chanting exercise has its place, for sure. Especially when we're gathered, as a group. There is the power and the blessing of so many voices all chanting together and harmonizing our chant together. And so there is a purpose for that. But sometimes when we become too focused on chanting, like mantras as well, you know, when we become so focused on reciting mantras, the real power, the real purpose of the chant and the mantra gets kind of thrown out, gets sacrificed. So from 4 until now 11, it's, you could say, setting up the stage, setting up the environment for what comes next. And what comes next, yes, right, we do say out loud, because what comes next is a series of supplications and prayers to the Guru. The Guru that appears as Jikten Sumgon, the Guru that appears as Koncho Ratna, the Guru that appears as Dharmakirti, and the Guru that appears as all the lineage masters. Guru is not just one person, okay? Guru, you could say, as we would say, is a principle. And so in the next section, yes, now we are doing the sevenfold offering, the sevenfold puja, the sevenfold worship. So here, at home, if we're doing it ourselves, it's good here to chant, to say out loud. From 4 to 11, if you want to, of course, nothing wrong to chant like we have chanted, but not necessary. Better that you work on bringing alive the visualization that is described. I respectfully pay homage with fierce and longing faith of the three types to you, the glorious Guru, Lord of the four kayas, with my body, speech, and mind. I make offerings of all these established things, outer, inner, and other, the one who offers that which is offered, and the act of offering are indivisible in essence. This being so, I make this offering of the great single taste, freedom from elaborations. Grant me the accomplishment of effortlessness. I lay bare the impairments and breakings of the vows of the three vehicles, and rejoice in your liberating deeds. Please turn the wheel of Dharma in accordance with the capacities of those to be trained, and remain here for as long as samsara has not been emptied. I dedicate the merit accumulated in the three times to the welfare of wandering beings. I supplicate you, the Dharmakaya, great Vajradhara of the sixth family. I supplicate you, the 85 Indian Mahasiddhas. I supplicate you, Tili Pragyabhadra. I supplicate you, Narogya Nasit. I supplicate you, Marpa of Lotra, the translator. I supplicate you, Mila Shepa Dorje. I supplicate you, Dao Shonu of Dakpo. I supplicate you, the three Siddhas of Kam. I supplicate you, Dorje Gyalpo of Pagdu. I supplicate you, Jesun Dorje Pelta. I supplicate you, supreme refuge, Jikten Sumgon. I supplicate you, Dharma Lord Ratnashri. I supplicate you, Kenchen Sutrin Dorje. I supplicate you, Onjen Sonam Drakpa. I supplicate you, Chenga Drakpa Jungne. I supplicate you, Chung O Dorje Drakpa. I supplicate you, Toka Rinjen Senge. I supplicate you, Samche Drakpa Sonam. I supplicate you, Chuni Dorje Rinchen. I supplicate you, Tuku Dorje Gyalpo. I supplicate you, Nirni Chu Ki Gyalpo. I supplicate you, Shenyen Dondru Gyalpo. I supplicate you, Rinchen Pelgi Gyal Tsen. I supplicate you, Chu Gyal Rinchen Pel Zang. I supplicate you, Rixin Chu Ki Gyatso. I supplicate you, Gyawang Kunga Rimchen. I supplicate you, Jason Rinchen Punso. I supplicate you, Rinchen Nambar Gyawa. I supplicate you, Penchen Pelgi Gyal Tsen. I supplicate you, Chokle Nambar Gyawa. I supplicate you, Tsongme Chogyao Punso. I supplicate you, Drupchen Da Shi Punso. I supplicate you, Jesun Guanzhou Rinchen. I supplicate you, Rixin Chu Kitakpa. I supplicate you, Guanzhou Tinle Namgyao. I supplicate you, Guanzhou Tinle Zangbo. I supplicate you, Tinle Dondru Chogyao. I supplicate you, Guanzhou Tenzin Dudu. I supplicate you, Tenzin Chuki Nima. I supplicate you, Kyabda Peme Gyaltsen. I supplicate you, Jamyang Jogi Gyaltsen. I supplicate you, Duwang Jogi Gyaltsen. I supplicate you, Rinchen Tempe Zegin. I supplicate you, Gyawang Tuje Nima. I supplicate you, Rixin Nuden Dorje. I supplicate you, Jason Jogi Lodro. I supplicate you, Gyalcho Shive Lodro. I supplicate you, Jason Dharmakara. I supplicate you, Trisap Tenzin Tupten. I supplicate you, the dark Bokag, you protectors of wandering beings. I supplicate you, my kind root Guru. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on the rarity of the freedoms and endowments, I still squander away my life. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on impermanence and death, I still fixate on composite phenomena as permanent. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on the unmistaken nature of cause and effect, I still pervert what to adopt and what to abandon. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on the sufferings of cyclic existence, I still take away to the lower realms. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I safeguard the vows of individual liberation, I still lack renunciation and the determination to be free. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on all wandering beings as my parents. I still have bias attachment to friends and aversion for enemies. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I cultivate loving kindness and compassion, I still hold on to envy and enmity. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I cultivate aspiration and action, bodhicitta, I still focus only on my own welfare. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on my body as the deity's exalted form, I still cling to ordinary perception. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I have counted the mantras to be recited, I still waste away my life force. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I cultivate the samadhi of moon in the water, I still solidify things as real and substantial. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I conclude by dissolving in the subsequent stage, I still purify and confess superficially. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on my own mind as free from elaborations, I still have conceptual attitudes. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I cultivate not grasping at whatever arises, I still affix an artificial watchfulness. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on resting freely in the natural state, I still amplify artificialities. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, although I meditate on unity beyond conceptions, I still get carried away by the masses of likes and dislikes. Look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion, reckless and mundane, I supplicate you who are my refuge and protector, in this and all other lives, physician who removes the chronic diseases of samsara, hero who vanquishes the enemies that are afflictive emotions, sun which dispels the darkness of ignorance, moon that protects from the heat of suffering, jewel which fulfills all our needs and desires, you Guru who are all-inclusive and all-sufficient, I supplicate you from the depths of my heart with compassion, swiftly heed me, effortlessly bestow your blessings. Grant me now and on this seat the naturally accomplished feast of the two benefits. I am endowed with both merit and devotion. Do not leave my hopes unfulfilled. Don't cast away my devotion in vain. Don't let my supplications vanish unanswered. Don't be indifferent with your compassion, refuge and protector in this life, in the intermediate state and beyond. Whatever occurs, joy or sorrow, good or bad, only you are my hope. Look upon me with eyes of compassion. You alone are my hope. I supplicate you, supreme refuge, Jikten Sumgon. I supplicate you, compassionate Garwang Chorana. I supplicate you, gentle protector, you true Dharma Kirti. I supplicate you, supreme refuge, Jikten Sumgon. I supplicate you, compassionate Garwang Chorana. I supplicate you, gentle protector, Gyutu Dharma Kirti. I supplicate you, supreme refuge, Jikten Sumgon. I supplicate you, compassionate God, Wangkon Jorana. I supplicate you, gentle protector, Gyutu Dharma Kirti. I supplicate you, supreme refuge, Jikten Sumgon. I supplicate you, compassionate God, Wangkon Chorana. I supplicate you, gentle protector, Gyutur Dharma Kirti. I supplicate you, supreme refuge, Jikten Sumgon. I supplicate you, compassionate God, Wangkon Chorana. I supplicate you, gentle protector, Gyutun Dharma Kirti. I supplicate you, supreme refuge, Jikten Sumgon. I supplicate you, compassion, Garwang Konjorana. I supplicate you, gentle protector, Gyutun Dharma Kirti. From this life onward until awakening is reached, other than the three of you, you victors, father and sons, I have no other hope. Don't lose your compassion and give up on me, as there are none like you, kings, you victors, father and sons. You are all that I need, my only hope and reliance. I supplicate you with fierce and strong devotion from the utmost depths of my heart, without delay or indifference. Look upon me with your eyes of primordial wisdom. After this life, while I am in the intermediate state, draw me out with your hook of primordial wisdom and compassion. As I said yesterday, this next section you can read, quietly. It basically, this next section tells us, Jikten Sumgon's qualities, where he is now, as well as Konchoratna and Dharmakirti, often called the sun and moon, Konchoratna and Dharmakirti, then Jikten Sumgon in the middle. Now page 41. Thus are these three victors, father and sons, the gathering and embodiment of the ocean of God, you gurus and siddhas and all idams, dakinis, and dharmapalas with wisdom, knowledge, loving compassion, exalted activities, and protective powers. By your blessings, bless me and all sentient beings, so that our minds turn to the Dharma. Bless us so that the Dharma turns into the Dharma. Bless us so that the Dharma enters the path. Bless us so that the path clears confusion. Bless us so that confusion dawns as wisdom. Bless us so that all our karmic and afflicted obscurations and our cognitive obscurations and habitual obscurations are clear now. Bless us so that they are cleared on this seat. Bless us so that they are clear in this session. Bless us so that our mind streams are cleansed. Bless us so that our mind streams are fully liberated. Bless us so that we are liberated now. Bless us so that we are liberated on this seat. Bless us so that we are liberated in this session. Bless us so that the supreme samadhi arises unmistakably in our mind streams. Bless us so that it arises now. Bless us so that it arises on this seat. Bless us so that it arises in this session. Bless us so that the unmistaken supreme primordial wisdom arises in our mind streams. Bless us so that it arises now. Bless us so that it arises on this seat. Bless us so that it arises in this session. So take a moment to remember ourselves in the form of Vajrayogini, and in the space in front is Guru Jikten Sumgon, surrounded by all the lineage gurus. Guru Jikten Sumgon is our root guru. And from the root guru, we will now take the four empowerments. Hear, O sublime, glorious Guru, from your forehead center, white lights emanate, dissolving into my forehead, immediately fully cleansing my body and my waking state of their obscurations, and planting the seed for the nirmana kaya, the exalted body Vajra. The Guru's exalted body and my body are inseparable. This is the indestructible appearances, emptiness, kaya siddhi. Hear, O sublime, glorious Guru, from your throat center, red lights emanate, dissolving into my throat, immediately fully cleansing my speech and my dream state of their obscurations, and planting the seed for the Sambhoga Kaya, the exalted speech Vajra. The Guru's exalted speech and my speech are inseparable. This is the indestructible sound emptiness, Vaka Siddhi. Hear, O sublime, glorious Guru, from your heart center, blue lights emanate, dissolving into my heart, immediately fully cleansing my mind and my deep sleep state of their obscurations, and planting the seed for the Dharmakaya, the exalted heart Vajra. The Guru's exalted heart and my mind are inseparable. This is the indestructible clarity, emptiness, citta siddhi. Hear, O sublime, glorious Guru, from your navel center golden lights emanate, dissolving into my navel, immediately fully cleansing my equipoised mind, and the moment of transition of their obscurations. Having ripened the Swabhavika Kaya, the three primordial wisdom Vajras of my body, speech, and mind are inseparable. This is the indestructible bliss, emptiness, sarava, siddhi. Here the retinue dissolves like breath on a mirror, disappearing. The glorious Guru's exalted body dissolves and furthermore turns into beautiful masses of five-colored lights, resplendent like 100,000 suns. These lights dissolve into oneself. Immediately you are blazing in various colors of light, bright lights and rainbows fill the 3,000-fold universes. This is the indivisible unity of clarity and emptiness, just as it is primordially free from elaborations. The great middle way, seal and perfection. Don't be confused by the names, their meanings are identical. The indivisible unity of primordial wisdom, evam maya alala ho. By the virtues collected in the three times by me and the entirety of samsara and nirvana, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Bodhi. So again, to point out, starting on page 45, the taking of the four empowerments, that section too, if you're practicing yourself alone, not necessary, to chant out loud. The visualization is more important. So then, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, not necessary to chant out loud. Then, when you do dedication, then of course, that's a prayer, then that you can chant out loud or say it out loud. So by receiving the four empowerments, then it says, the seeds for the attainment of the four kayas are planted, are being nurtured, being watered until they mature, and the four kayas are achieved. So let's see if there are some general questions about this practice. As I said, over time, I will go through part by part, pointing out some of the different things. But for now, since we just started, if there's any questions, happy to try to answer. No?
I have one question.
Uh-huh.
In this prayer, the look upon me from afar with eyes of compassion. At that point, we are supposed to be identified with the deity, Vajrayogini or Vajrayogini.
Throughout the whole practice, no?
Yeah. So my question is, if we have that identity, isn't Vajrayogini the opposite of reckless and mundane?
It doesn't matter. You're thinking too much.
Okay.
That is the tension there, Are you Vajravarahi? Yeah, although this, but this. Although this, but this.
Thank you.
And then when you are Vajravarahi, then you are doing that prayer for others. Before you are Vajravarahi, you're just claiming to be Vajravarahi. So, claiming to be Vajravarahi, you say, oh, I meditate on, precious human life. Then we fall back to squandering away this precious human life. Right? If you want to ask this question even further, then you should go further and say, well, if I'm already Vajravarahi, why do I need 4 empowerments? Yeah, this, especially, like Vajrayana practice, it's not logic. It's not 0 and 1, It's mystery. It's tension. It's bringing to the surface, the unresolved that needs to be resolved, We say we're Buddha, but how come all of this? Then we fall in the other extreme. We get stuck in, I'm like this, I'm like this, I'm like this, like this, and then no moment that we think, oh, but actually I'm Vajravarai. Okay, so we will do the bodhicitta, the dedication at the end. Chanju sem chorim poche ma ge panam ge gyuche ge pa nyam pa me pa yang go ne gong du be wor shuo. Okay, see all of you tomorrow.
Thank you, Lapan.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you,
Lai.
Dr. Lopo.
Thank you, Dr. Lai.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias, Dr. Lai.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you, everybody.
Yes.